Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Here
comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
You might do it, Kick Thing by Hero. Welcome to the Philly breakdown, because that's what we had tonight. A Philly breakdown, big time. Joey, I know, man. I know there's got to be a lot to talk about, a lot to say. But besides the Eagles losing, how are you doing? How the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's good. I feel bad for my girlfriend because she went to the game today and, she dealt with what she had to deal with over there. And to watch that horrificness, there's a lot to talk. There's a lot to talk about because it's almost turning into probably I know people are going to say it's week 2, or people say that maybe the team isn't gelled enough, but there's more to it than that. I think there's a lot more questions. I think it's over the top serious now. And that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, let me say hi to everybody in here. 93 with the Wu-Tang symbol. Thank you so much, Chris. What's going on, Marcus? Chris Kaufman, Jumanji, Mr. Intamin. Thank you guys, Jerry, Battle Mode, Jesse Davis, Gavin, Rodney, Ryan, Fancy, Alex, Frank, Ryan, Philly 0024, Ronan, Barron, Ethan, thank you for being here. Sean Davis, my man, thank you so much for Super Chat. Thank you so much. There's a reason why we never get production out of our wide receiver 3. Hurts looks for 2 guys. As much as he throws, and with the offense, he should have better numbers. Thank you, Sean, for that Super Chat, man. It's hard to argue a lot of the things that people are saying today because there's so much of it is true. Timothy, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, Joey's hairline could have caught that third.
No fucking hairline. What are you talking about, dude? This is like, I got hair like, I'm a fucking model.
I'll tell you what, the refrigerator's taking a beating when I'm done. I'm going to be eating so much. I'm going to be opening that door all night long, binging. I'm gaining so much weight.
I thought you meant you were going to punch it.
No, I'm at the door opening and shutting because I'm going to be in there all night. It's just brutal. I guess we should start with, the first quarter, right? I mean, let's start with the beginning of the game. They came out, offense did not move the ball well. They ran Saquon early, and he was like fantastic. And then they just went away from it again. We talked about this before, and I know people hate that I bring this up, but I have to because I believe it's the truth. It's like there just seems like to me there are times where it's like, all right, we're going to run stuff we ran a year ago again. And we just get away from what's working. Barkley running the ball early was working. They completely get away from it. And the offense sputters. I mean, what did we score? 10 points? 7 points, 10 points at halftime? I mean, you can't score that little in the first half. And, and then there was one point on the one drive where we came away with no points because they didn't take a field goal. Lo and behold, it hurts us, So I didn't think they started off very good,
No, I think, not using Barkley like at first. I mean, you threw like 3 times. So I'm sitting there like, okay, like what's the next step now? Like, I don't know if I don't blame you for feeling the way I'm feeling. And before we got into the stream, I said we're probably gonna be fighting with a lot of people this week because now you're starting to see a lot from last year. Now I'm starting to think like, remember the quote we heard where Nick said they're gonna joint their their game plans together, and Nick and Kellen Moore are going to be involved in the same place when it comes to game planning? Is this what it looks like? It feels like it's our offense from last year with Kellen Moore, splits of Kellen Moore in it, flashes of Kellen
Right.
Moore, pre-snap motion, and all that stuff. It's ugly as hell, dude. It's horrible.
It's sloppy right now. Both sides of the ball is sloppy. Zay Boogie Dave for super chat. He goes, I'll say it again. Kick the field goal in the first, we win. Don't put all the blame on Saquon and the people blaming Hurts. If we win, Hurts played great. His stats were solid. I honestly, I don't think Hurts played his best, but I don't think they lost because of Jalen Hurts not playing good. I really don't believe that's what it was. I believe that the number one blame that you have to put on this team, and when I did my preview video, I said the key to this game is two things. You have to shut down Bijan Robinson, and you have to get pressure on Cousins. Right?
Yeah.
Those are the two things that they did not do in this game. Bijan Robinson looked amazing. And he ran all over us, especially in the first half. In the second half, there's no pressure by this defense. And I think that is the number one problem, in my opinion. You froze up, by the way. I don't know if you realize that. B-Star, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, I've been watching highlights of no-name quarterbacks throwing freaking bombs to no-name wide receivers. And Hurts can't even do that with A.J. Brown and Devontae. I'm so done. Thank you, B-Star, for the super chat. I mean, I know it's frustrating. I know. I know it's frustrating.
I mean,
and there's a lot of blame to go around.
Even with Jalen Hurts, like, I don't know if there's. I mean, I didn't see much middle of the field. I mean, I remember there was a throw to Saquon middle of the field where he had the first down. Like, he threw to Saquon, but the thing is, like, he had good protection. He still rolled out, and then he still rolled out with protection and threw as he was rolling out. And, like, the pass was it was just a weird pass. But I think.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No. Like,
not my fault.
The thing that I'm saying is this, like, I thought we talk about Hurts and his clutch moments. I thought he had 3 clutch moments where he had the touchdown on Devontae Smith, but he had those two big rushes he had. The problem is, dude, it's like this guy is already getting this guy's already getting hit the last 2 weeks. Okay?
Yeah.
That was the issue we had last year with these keepers, and the guy's not going to have a long career if you use him like that. There's nothing else that they've built up, game plan wise, to let the offense kind of work for him a little bit. They're putting way too much on him. They're not making things simple for a second week straight. You're not going to have a long career in Philadelphia taking hits like that. He took way too many hits today.
He took a lot of hits.
Yeah.
L, thank you for super chat. He goes, if the defense doesn't undergo major change early in the season this year, it will be a repeat of last year, and that scares me. Tough game to get over. Yeah, I mean, it is a very tough game. Joby says, Hurts argued with the offensive coordinator for the pass on that play at the 6. Offensive coordinator was upset. Sirianni is a weak bitch. Which play are we talking about? On the last play? At the 6. Are you talking about the third down? Is that the one he's talking about?
Maybe.
Or is he talking about which one are we talking about? I'm trying to catch up to this chat. Timothy Davis Super Chat goes, we need a pass rusher. I knew Reddick and Nolan wouldn't get it done. Howie, go call the Jets now. Yeah, I mean, that's a major problem. David Davis Super Chat goes, we Cowboy fans warn you all about Kellen Moore. I don't even know if it's Kellen Moore, though. That's the thing. Timothy Davis Super Chat goes, I meant Bryce Huff. Yeah, no, I know. I said this earlier. Okay, it's just my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but it just, from looking at it, seems to me it's like there are plays installed that are from last year, and it's almost like Kellen Moore decides to do those in bunches. Like, all right, now we're going to call these plays from last year because they always look the same and they don't work. And then we do other stuff that seems to work and seems like, newer. But the other problem, and the one area where I will criticize Hurts, is every time he bails to the right, the play's dead. Sometimes he bails out and he doesn't need to. When he hangs in the pocket or steps up, there's plays to be made. But when he bails to the right, it usually doesn't go good for us.
No, it usually goes nowhere. I mean, if I'm just gonna say this, like if I think you have a quarterback problem right now, and I think on dialed up plays, route combinations, wherever these receivers are going. I mean, remember when they were trying to get Britton Covey into the game? How many plays you see the same Britton Covey pass to the sideline? It was the same pass, the same
at
pass,
the
the same
at the
pass.
same spot on the same
Yes.
down.
Yes.
Same spot on the same down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't understand plays like why not run Barkley? Barkley was just like killing you today. Like he was great, except for that drop.
I know.
It's crazy. John Gotti says I'm getting zero sleep tonight. I'm so pissed. Emergency trade for Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah, that to me is the biggest problem. The way I see it, you'll get AJ Brown back at some point, although it looks like he's not playing versus Saints. I think you could get this offense cleaned up, but how do you get your pass rush to get home? I mean, you're getting nothing from any of those guys, Joey. Nothing.
I think Huff had one assisted tackle. That was the one with Zach Bond. That was the one when Kirk Cousins actually had to move up in the pocket and run for a positive 2 yards. That was the only tackle he shared with Zach Bond.
Right.
On top of all that, Milton Williams had a sack. Even Thomas Booker had 2 tackles. He did probably better than the rest of them.
He was a bright spot on this team tonight.
Yeah.
Green Blaze, the Fight Eagle, David Super Chat goes, get the Jets on the phone for Reddick now. Let me ask you this. Minute 46 left. No timeouts for them. Is that not Hassan Reddick time? I mean, is that not where Hassan Reddick earns his money? Right there? And you don't have him?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we've talked about it a million times, saying you don't have a closer. You don't have a guy you can really look up to close out these games at all. Like, obviously that last series, like 3 big plays like that, and then Slay just pretty much, I don't know what he was looking at. Was he still looking at Kirk Cousins? I don't know, because he completely, that reminded me of the Seattle game so much from last year. That ending was like Seattle all over again in my mind. So yeah, it was. It's really
tough.
disgusting, dude. It's
tough.
It's happening week 2 of the season. Like, that's the scary part. Like, you're facing the Saints next week. That their run is their protege, bro. That their run game is their bread and butter. That offense.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, Jordan Davis. I mean, we talked about all season as a make or break year. He's non-existent so far. Jalen Carter, I mean, that's really surprising to me too. Like, more than anything, the lack of Jalen Carter doing anything, that really surprises me. When you hear about, you remember the season he had last year. You remember, you listen to all the things that the players say. Oh my God, this guy's unguardable. This guy's got a monster, and then to not do anything. It's like, what's going on here?
I don't think there's
done with this.
I don't think there's no talent on the defensive line. It's just something's just not working. And why isn't one defensive lineman producing? There's no way that they can actually be this bad. Like, how many times did
maybe they don't fit the scheme. They don't fit it.
You took Bryce Huff out. You paid Bryce Huff $17 million a year. You took him out of position. You see him in coverage today. He was getting manhandled. Like,
oh, he's horrible.
He should have no business being in coverage at all. Like, this scheme is just. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they're the last team ranked in the league against the fucking rush at this point.
I would assume that they are. Maybe Dallas. I mean, Dallas got crushed.
Yeah, they got cooked too. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex White, Dave for Super Chat. He goes, listening to some of these dudes, these dumb Super Chats make me lose my brain cells. Hurts was not the problem tonight. The defense is the worst in the league. The defense is the problem. More than anything, in my opinion, the defense. Because the way I look at it, whatever flaws and mistakes you had on offense. Okay, Barkley catches that ball, game is over. He should have caught it. I'm not going to give him or make any excuses for Saquon Barkley. He has to catch that ball. Okay, that's on him. he has to catch it. He didn't. However, one, why was he even put in that situation? Running ball in 3rd or 4, you don't get the first down, you kill 40 seconds. So that doesn't make sense to me. Devontae Smith drops a ball in the end zone. I really thought it was a good defensive back
Good play. It was a good
his hand
play
on the ball. I
Yeah.
just got to tip my head. Jalen Hurts interception at the end. Okay, maybe he could do some things better. But to me, those things I can fix. Okay, you can say, all right, here's the problem. You got to fix this, and you can clean it up. But I don't know how you clean up the defensive line and the pass rush right now, because they look like they've got nothing. That's what I'm worried about going forward. The offense can fix, I think, the problems and the flaws. The defensive line is the biggest concern on this team.
Yeah,
It wasn't that. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you lost 2 vets on your defensive line. You traded one away, and you lost Fletcher Cox. You drafted Jalix Hunt. Still hasn't played at all. He really surprised me this offseason. But I don't know. I know he got hurt. I know he had the oblique injury. But where is Jalix Hunt? Why is he getting reps? Why is he in the rotation? What's going on with him? Nolan Smith has just been Nolan Smithing since the offseason, hasn't done nothing, haven't used him, haven't done nothing with him. And Josh Sweat's playing for a contract, and he's been probably the most disappointing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's something wrong here. They put in a lot. It's like the secondary gets enough flack, but I think the secondary is going to be good. I think
I do too.
Not having pressure all game like that, what do you expect them to do? Cover for 8 to 15 seconds? I mean, what do you expect them to do all game? They're going to give up big plays that way. So
when you see Kirk Cousins' jersey completely cleaned, I think that's a major problem. D-Love, thank you for super chat. He goes, same team last year. Tuma, all that draft capital money in the D-line. You can't get any pressure. Is pathetic. It's pathetic. And they didn't even like they blitzed Bond a couple times last week. I don't think they blitzed him at all. And I was surprised by the lack of adjustment on that. Victor, thank you for super chat. He goes, Hurts is very Wentz-esque in these 30 to 50 second comeback drives. Loves to throw the big bomb out of desperation instead of setting up the field goal. It is interesting, and I will say this, he does seem like he only throws to 2 guys. It was either Covey or Devontae. Goddard, really non-existent. Jahan Dotson, I think he got 1 play early in the game, and now they're saying A.J. Brown's expected to miss a couple of weeks. So you're going to have to go play New Orleans without A.J. Brown. That's tough. Now, if they go and they beat New Orleans next week, I'll feel like, all right, that's a big win, because I really think New Orleans looks good. Like, they look scary good. And
you know what? It's rolling out to your right and throwing when there's no line in front of you. You're not throwing over people. You're not throwing across, where there's guys in motion as the play's going, or it's a totally throwing outside the pocket is completely different than throwing, inside the pocket or the guy just doesn't step in the pocket. And for some reason, the open practice, we saw him with all this speed, and he looks really slow. Like, why does he look like he's jogging, or why does he look like he's still indecisive on if should he go full speed, or I don't know. It looks like is he hurt? Is something going on with Hurts? Like, even when he rushes, he looks slow. I don't know.
I thought he looked slow the first. I thought he kind of got it going on though, later. It's just weird. Notorious, thank you for super chat. He goes, we lost us. The game is the D-line. Yeah, I agree. This is the worst play I've seen from our D-line in years. You have 2 rushers making $15 million a year and 2 defensive tackles drafted in the first round and not even getting a whiff of the quarterback. Is unacceptable. To me, that's why you lost the game too, is because of that front. Fat Mac Philly says we probably got the best red zone defense. Yeah, I mean the defense in the red zone, they held up pretty good, man. They held them to 3 field goals. So I agree. I mean, they did step up in the red zone, but in the fourth quarter when there was a minute 46 and no timeouts left for Atlanta, they just went right down the field like there was no problem. And I know, the media is going to talk about the Barkley drop, and that's what everybody's going to talk about.
Of course.
But I think that, Barkley's got to eat that. You got to take it. You messed up.
He will.
He will. He's already accepted the responsibility. But you can fix that. You can fix those things. But like I said earlier, how do you fix the pass rush? That's what I want to know. Like, I feel like you need to go out and trade and get Hassan Reddick back like now. All right. And then after you get Reddick back, you need to try to go get Khalil Mack. Like, you need both of those guys. King Root Gaming, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, they blitz more preseason, and what are they doing with Dotson? Just one catch. I thought he would have more yards than Covey.
No, he's not ready. He's not ready yet. Just like Cooper DeJean's not ready yet. Vontae Max went out with an injury, came back later on. But on that one play with Cooper DeJean, he actually had really good coverage. Like, why are they holding him back? How much? I mean, I understand he missed a lot of time, but Jesus, like, I don't even know. I don't even have an answer because I feel like you got to throw somebody in the fire at some point. I don't know.
Joey Campanelli, David Super Chat. He goes, I'm concerned about our wide receiver depth. Dotson and Wilson showed us nothing tonight. They did. And Joey might be right about Dotson. Might need time. I thought Covey played pretty good.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Alex White, member for 6 months. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm surprised they involved Covey as much as because remember he was like a decoy last week. He was on pre-snap motion almost. I saw number 18 going across the line every damn play, but he actually had some opportunities. So I was actually happy they got him involved. But just the variety of plays were just boring, vanilla, dry. Just the same play in the same series, like you said. Horrible.
I know. It really was. That was the issue. Antonio Holmes says that was bad coaching. I thought the coaching stunk, but I like they get killed every time we talk about Nick Sirianni. But I'm telling you, I really want to hear at a press conference. I really think they need to be pushed on this. What are you guys? Who's calling the plays? And then if Moore's calling the plays, how many plays is Nick Sirianni making sure are implemented from last year in? Because I think that Moore doesn't want his plays. And I think Moore has to call a certain amount. That's why he calls them all at one time. Because you have, like I said, you have sequences of bad plays. Not like one good play, one bad play, one good play. You have sequences where it's like you're doing good. And then all of a sudden it's like 3 straight really bad plays. They look totally lost. Like, they need to push Nick. I need to know what's really going on there.
Another year of trying to figure that out. It's another year of really trying to figure out again who's behind the play calling. It wouldn't look. I saw Nick with a pad, a colored checked thing in his hand today. I mean, I don't know what that is, and I don't know how much attention he's paying to it, but I feel like it's got to be something. What is it? I mean, what could it be? It's got to be something. I don't know.
Right.
But
I don't know. I don't know. We got killed last time, so I don't know.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Dora Gunner, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, thank you, Howie, for the 3rd next season. Pound Dotson. We'll see. I mean, look, it is September, and there's a lot of football left to be played. The positive is Dallas lost, the Niners lost, the Lions lost. All the teams that are good on paper pretty much lost. The problem is you got to go play New Orleans, who I think after 2 weeks showed you they're real. And they run the ball really well, and they protect really well, and they can score a lot. How is this defense going to respond? Mac Fripp, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, Nick Sirianni was horrible at managing the game. I agree. Listen, if I really say this, if they start, let's say they lose to New Orleans and lose to Tampa, he's getting fired. He's going to be gone. I don't think his leash is that long. I've said this before. I really don't. But we'll see. Yeah. Evil Productions, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, this loss was tough, but I think the Jets game last year was the worst loss in a while. The next 2 weeks for me will determine what this team is going to what we're going to see. Yeah, I think the response against New Orleans is going to be really interesting, and it's going to show us a lot. This game reminded me of the Seattle game, where that's what it felt like. Scrooblin, David Super Chat, he goes, they lost on Nick Foles night. Unacceptable.
Yeah,
should have ran the Philly special if they were going to make a stupid decision to throw on that third down. The thing with that third down is like, okay, he shouldn't have dropped it. I get it. But if you run the ball there and you don't get the first down, you have the option of the push-tush, most likely, or you kill 40 seconds off the clock, at least, and then you kick the field goal. So they're getting the ball back with under a minute.
Yeah.
But by dropping it, you saved them like 46 seconds. That's just not right. And you're not going to sit there and try to sell me on the Kobe Dean outplay Devin White because Dean stinks. What is up with Devin White? I mean, Bubba, I have to go. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch Dean. There were a couple things I saw him miss, but what Devin White healthy scratch? You can't tell me we can't use Devin White, even if he's blitzing or as a pass rusher. A healthy scratch,
unless he's on the trade block behind the scenes, and they're trying to trade him somewhere. But honestly, like even the Kobe Dean, like did he have not an even okay day? It was like all right. It wasn't enough for me to say, holy crap, look what he did today. Zach Bond did okay. He had a couple tackles, but it wasn't much because you're getting guys wide open. Ray McLeod was open in the same spot, like in the middle of the field, like what 5 times in this game. But Devin White being a healthy scratch, like why wouldn't you use him as a depth piece for the game or to try to, what I mean? Like we're supposed to believe that Fangio said that Kobe Dean was the starter all along since the beginning of training camp to the end of the offseason program. Like, give me a freaking break.
Holy shit. The Eagles are 1-point favorites going into New Orleans. How the hell are they 1-point favorites? No, that's
after
weird.
Today.
No, I can't. I'm staying away from that game. IG Snipe, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Lobo says, am I tripping, but I'm not seeing Kellen Moore's system? I see. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the plays look exactly like last year. And the plays that they have the same result. Now, you're telling me that's Kellen Moore? All right, fine. But is Sirianni forcing certain plays? Because some of them look exactly like last year, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, the two bits of news we heard in the offseason was obviously the two schemes coming together, which was a bunch of BS. But who knows if that's even false information? And then the next thing was Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore. The report came out that Kellen Moore is obviously going to take plays that Hurts, that helped Hurts last year, or why take anything from last year? Period. I mean,
but the plays that they're taking aren't the play. They look exactly like last year, and they're very unsuccessful.
I mean, seriously, the problems, right? Like the offensive line. I mean, the 5 penalties going upfield. I mean, what? I mean, some of this. I mean, I would have to say this. Cam Jurgens, I thought had a pretty good game. I think that was definitely. I thought he had a pretty solid game today, but still, like, just unnecessary penalties as well. I mean, I don't know, man. It's there. Are we really talking about training camp now and not gelling enough, or is it more than that? I mean, that's.
Well, I think this is where we're going to find out. I really think that this New Orleans game is going to tell us a lot, because this is a giant test for this team on both sides of the ball. And if they can't make any adjustments, then listen. If we go in there and defensively they do the same thing they did last week, then it's like we're right back where we started from, and there's something else going on. Myra Davis Super Chat goes, we have to get away from the RPOs and too many flags. Way too many flags. Every time it seemed like we got something positive going, it was like, boom.
Yeah, taking it back.
flag. And it was like some of those, I got to tell you, some of those like, the illegal man downfield, like they called a illegal man downfield at the Eagles were at like the 3-yard line. Where was Lane Johnson went to the 1-yard line, they called the penalty. I'm like, come on, it had nothing to do with the play. I don't like when those things have nothing to do with the play. I don't like when they call it.
That should be the last. That should be the last group that should be even getting penalties like that. Like it's not even a holding call. You're talking just going upfield.
They're calling it. They're calling it throughout the end. Like I watched football yesterday. They're calling it everywhere. It's just annoying in general. Yeah. Philly Swag, thank you for super chat. He goes, Joey, we need you at defensive end because these MFers are ass.
Yeah, they're bad, dude. I mean, you got rid. Look, like I'm saying, like. You're putting a lot into Jalix Hunt and you're taking Bryce Huff out of position. And, from the start of camp to the end, I haven't really heard anything positive about Bryce Huff. First, it was like, Fangio's like, I don't think he can handle it yet. It's like, okay, he just got paid $17 million. So you think he can't be a 3-down edge rusher? Like, are you serious? Like, off a 10-sack season. And, I mean, that was a quick sign. When they signed him, it was quick. So it was like, man, was there a lot of teams even interested in him? I don't even know. But Bryce Huff has to strictly be an edge rusher. And pass coverage, you're wasting his ability, wasting time. And we don't even know if he could handle more snaps. And we don't even know. Simple as that.
Dre Diesel, thank you for super chat. Goes, put Thomas Booker in for Bryce Huff. Yeah, Booker was a true bright spot, and I'm gonna say something against somebody who I love. One of the guys I absolutely love on this team, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's missing big tackles.
Second week in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Now he made a big play on a 4th down that was like that's the C.J. Gardner-Johnson we're looking for, but he needs to be a little more consistent too. But I truly believe that a lot of the problems in this, with the passes and some of the stuff that have going on in the secondary, minus Avonte Maddox, is because there's no pressure on the quarterback. He's got all day to throw.
Yeah, it's the first year in a lot of years where we're like, man, like this defensive line looks lackluster. There's no depth. Like we've never been through this before. So it's very new to us that we're going through this with this defensive line. They have put a lot. It seems like they put a lot into the secondary and they put little to nothing in that defensive line. Letting Reddick go. And look, I know we go back and forth on this a million times, but he's not a consistent player every game, but he shows up when it counts and when it matters. And that's what you lose in Hassan Reddick, regardless if he's not consistent every game and he doesn't fit the scheme. He's a playmaker. Simple as that.
146, no timeouts. I guarantee you Reddick gets at least a sack on that play, on that drive that really kills them. Lucas, thank you for super chat. Goes, I've seen enough to get Maddox off the field. Let Cooper play. Also, why are they afraid to run the damn ball? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. It's true. L. Davis super chat goes, Nick said Moore is calling the plays in the press. Well, okay. Then my second question would be, my follow-up would be then, how many plays of your offense from last year are you putting in the plays that you want him to call each week? That's what I would want to know. How many plays are you putting in the game plan? That would be my follow-up. And then if he says none, then I'll say, all right, then that's on Moore. Fat Mac Philly Davis super chat. He goes, we had too many penalties at the wrong time. Yeah, every time it looked like we started to get a groove, there was a penalty. It's true. I think they had like 2 penalties the whole game. Mac Fripp, thank you for super chat. The refs was keeping Atlanta in the game too. I agree. I agree. Why are we always blaming Nick? Because he's the head coach. He's the head coach. But I don't think we're just blaming Nick. We just talked about blaming the pass rush, about blaming the defense, about blaming not being able to get home. Talked about Saquon dropping a ball. We talked about the penalties and the mistakes. But you can't not talk about Nick also. You can't just ignore what he's doing as the coach. Not saying it's all his fault. It goes way beyond that. But I have more than blaming Nick. I have questions about some of the stuff that's going on offensively that I'd like answers to.
And you're telling me you're gonna play these two games that I'm telling you, Tampa's a tough team, and the Saints just steamrolled the Cowboys. And I understand like Eagle fans were laughing at the Cowboys for losing. I get it, but this ain't any better. I mean, yeah, we
No.
didn't get killed by over 40 points, but this is just as bad with the amount of talent we have. And I'm not gonna put it all on, well, AJ Brown's not here because he's used to throwing to him. They have to be more creative in a lot of ways. That bye week 5, like they need to rest up that week. And you know how the Eagles have looked like coming off of bye weeks. They look the worst coming off of bye weeks.
Right.
Slow. Do
Right.
we need to reset ourselves once again? Hopefully
Right.
not.
Sean Davis, Davis super chat. He goes, Nick said Kellen calls all the plays at the come. Well, listen, if and I hope Brian is in here to hear this. If that's the case, and Kellen's calling all the plays, and he's putting all the plays in the game plan, and that's Kellen Moore, then Kellen Moore hasn't done a good enough job calling plays, because sometimes they look horrible. So other times they look great, but some of them look really bad in sequences. So then I would put the responsibility on Kellen Moore.
It's too.
I have no problem doing it. I'm just saying, whoever
Philly
is doing it is to blame.
It looks so similar though. Like you wanted an upgrade and
It
an
does.
offensive mind, and it looks too similar to be an upgrade.
I know.
It's just so weird.
I know. Dawn Gray, member for 31 months, goes, yo, you the man, Denzel. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's draining.
It is. It's a depressing loss. You know, I don't like the scheme, the defensive scheme. I miss Jim Johnson type defense so bad. I really do. But you know, we're gonna get tests this week from this whole team. We're gonna see what this team's about. We're gonna see how they respond versus New Orleans. Mac Fripp, thank you for super chat. He goes, regardless if Saquon drops the ball or not, the defense should have made a stop. Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to it shouldn't have been that easy to go down there. It was like what, like 5 plays.
Well, yeah, I mean 3 big plays.
It was bad. I mean, it just looked bad. You know, and listen, I'm not coming in here blazing, like guns are blazing on Nick Sirianni. I'm just saying, whoever's in charge of calling the plays, those offensive plays look bad. Whoever's, with Vic Fangio and the defense, how can you make no adjustments on that defense? Like, where's the blitz? Why are you not trying to create pressure on Kirk Cousins? I don't get it at all. They blitzed Vaughn a couple times in that Green Bay game. He got a couple sacks.
Oh,
I don't think he blitzed like that at all.
Yeah, it's too inconsistent.
AI Coconut Guy, David Super Chat. He goes, hi, guys. That field in the first quarter that we didn't like, that's what cost us the game. It should have been Eagles 24, Falcons 22. You mean the field goal try they didn't do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they should have done it, Flipping the Bird, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Shipley and Goddard more involved in the offense. Play Milton at defensive tackle next to Davis and move Carter all around defensive line, especially the edge. Get Booker and Jalex Hunt out there. Use Devin White as a blitzer. Agreed. I agree. You have to do something like that. You can't just keep lining up the same way and expect something to change. It's not happening. And you've got a really good offense you're going up against next week. Dude, the Saints scored 47 points and then 44 points. If we play like this, they'll score 60. They'll score 60.
Yeah.
So we have to see. We're going to find out what kind of coaches we have this week. We really are. We're going to find out. Like I said, I think a lot of the things can be fixed. A lot of the things on offense, a lot of the mistakes. But the one thing that I'm very concerned can't be right now, and what I think is the reason we lost, And hear me out, those that say I always just go after Nick. I'm not going after Nick. I'm saying the reason we lost is because you can't get pressure with your front. That pass rush has been god awful.
Yeah, it's a combination of everything, and
There's a
obviously
lot of things, sure.
If Nick's gonna sit there for weeks on end and like this is how it's going to look. What did I say to you after the 49ers exposed us last year? We went into that Cowboys game. I said to you on the Philly Shakedown, I said the only thing we have, the one thing we have right now is time because we had a playoff berth, we had everything in front of us, and they had the time to do it. And did they do it? No. And I'm not going to say that's what they're doing because I have to look at the other flip of the coin and saying it's only week 2. I can't go crazy second game of the season, but it is alarming how similar things do look from last year. And like you said, all of the off-season news and I think part of it is just facing each other at practice is not enough in a controlled environment where you're really not seeing these players really flash that much or where it's
No.
it's a lot, it's a lot to deal with. So
Yeah. No, it's true. It's definitely true. Fade to gaming. David Super Chat goes, how do you feel about Dotson one target? Really, I don't feel good about it. I want them to get him more involved. I want him to spread the ball out more. So that's disappointing. And if you continue to do that, where it's just two guys getting the ball, with AJ Brown out next week, it's going to be even harder. Torreyville, David Super Chat, he goes, we didn't call any plays with 2 running back sets, Barkley, Shipley, like we did last week 1. And wouldn't this have been a good game to do it with AJ out and our, it would have been a great thing to do it. And I know people are going to maybe get mad at me, but dude, I don't care what anybody says. Kenneth Gainwell is a drive killer. He comes in, we're moving the ball, runs twice. That's it.
like
The
4 or
drive is
5
over.
yards. Yeah.
I don't even think he got that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Saquon took himself out because that whole drive he had like a 10-yard, 9 to 10-yard carries, 3 times. He took himself out. Gainwell had a couple snaps. I get it, but somebody's got to take over for a couple snaps. I mean, it can't be Saquon the entire game, but he could be most of the game. But someone else needs an opportunity. But I get it.
Glass Dragon David Super Chat goes, Saquon took the blame. That's what I heard. He did. I was listening to his press conference. He took it. He took all the responsibility. And look, he messed up. He should have caught that ball. And despite all the things that went wrong, we're 2-0. I feel like you can move on from that. My concerns aren't those things. My concerns, not even Nick Sirianni not kicking the field goal in the first. Like, all those things are fixable. But like, I come back to this. How do you fix the defense, like that pass rush? That's what I'm more concerned about than anything.
Yeah.
Trey Diesel, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, play good. We can beat the Saints. We will play good. No, this is going to be the test. It's going to be a hell of a test. If we go and beat the Saints, I will feel so much better. John Davis, thank you for Super Chat, because the offense is chalked if they keep the RPO scheme. Oh, man, it's tough. Nicholas Davis, Super Chat, goes, Slay needs to retire. He just is not good anymore. I need to go back and watch that last play of Slay.
He stared at something the whole time, and he just let right in front of him, just let London go. Like, because free release, nothing. Didn't pay attention to him at all.
My eyes were on that pass rush. They were on that pass rush the whole time. Brian, thank you for the Super Chat. He goes, got to pay extra attention to Saturdays now. Future quarterback 1, oh man, is playing the day. I need a guy who doesn't throw the ball to the other team. Thank you, man. What's up, Westy Rocks? I see you in here. Dallas, you're Dallas Cowboys. You feel good? Jay, David Super Chat, Cowboy fan, this is not 100% Moore's playbook. Jay, thank you so much for saying that, Cowboy. That is not 100% Moore's playbook. I would love to hear more because I really wonder. Some of it looks just like last year, Listen, it's a tough loss, and it sucks. We should have won that game. We should have been 2-0, but at the end of the day, you know what? It's September, and we got to move on. We got to be better. And I think the next 2 games, by week 4, I think we'll know. If nothing changes by week 4, then it's a problem. And yeah, Barkley, he did drop that ball, but dude, Barkley's a stud. Does
This
Barkley
team.
not look reborn? My
Even
God.
but look what even like when he reached over for the touchdown in the end zone, like look at that last, like the effort that he puts in. Like he's a cheat code, bro. Like they
Yeah,
don't
he
make things
is.
simple. Like they got to
Yeah,
make
I
things
mean,
just
he
simple.
dropped that ball, and I know that bothers him, but man, he is fast. He is elusive. He is powerful. He is everything that you want. Everybody's saying he's shot or no more. No, he looks like he's in his prime. So we have that to go on. We're 45 minutes in. Is there anything else, man, you want to say? I know it's a little early, but I know you're on your phone and you're not home,
Yeah, I don't
and I'm
care. I
sure my
mean, I'd
wife
say,
wants to come to bed. So,
yeah, all right.
I mean, I don't know what else we could say.
No, I mean
It's brutal.
it's a wait and see approach, and like I'm not gonna feel. I don't know, man. Like it's week 2, and I get it, but I'm not gonna get tricked like I was last year. Like we're even waiting as of right now. Will this team even have a? Will this offense even have a dominating game this year? This is gonna be a heart attack. A minute and a half heart attack that we have to go through every game, and we win ugly games like that, and we're not doing that now. They deserve to lose that game today. Not for
Mhm.
specific players, but as a coaching staff, to where these players were put in certain positions today. I don't want to say they should have, they deserve to lose, but it's just this is the only way you're going to learn. Because if they win like this, they'll keep recycling this BS out every single week when it comes to this play calling. And like I don't want to beat up on players too much, but it's just enough's enough with this. Like
Yeah,
I would give it these next 2 weeks before the bye. This way they can get a firing done if anything bad happens. They don't play up the task. Don't show no fight. Don't go, play up the task. And by week 5, like where you have now an early bye this year, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to believe the news that Kellen Moore has taken, if this is his play calling purely. And I'm sorry, but I've seen what he ran with the Chargers, and we saw what he's ran with the Dallas Cowboys, and we've never seen this,
hmm
not like this. I'll say it. This is me saying it. This is not him saying it. This is me saying it. I don't care how many dislikes I get. I don't care how much shit I get. I don't hate Nick. I don't hate the coaches. It's just that enough is enough. At a certain point, like it's not good.
yeah,
For a start, it's not good. So that's where I'm at. Sorry
yeah.
for
No,
rambling, but
I'm with you. I don't care if people get mad at me because of the Nick stuff. That's too bad. I gotta call it like I see it.
yeah.
But the next 2 weeks to me is really important to see how this team responds. Nick Marquette, David Super Chat goes, the Eagles are 0-3 when AJ doesn't play. It's bad. Yeah, I mean that's crazy too. They have a good enough players without AJ Brown there that they should still be able to win. It's just crazy. Shizzo, David Super Chat, he goes, I ain't gonna lie, Hurts a tier 2 quarterback. I'm watching Josh Allen dominate with no name. Hurts can put up 28 with Smith, Goddard, and Saquon good pockets. Well, yeah, look, I think Jalen has to have good players around him. I think that's the way it is, and I think that's why they got those guys. But if Brown goes out one game, they should have been able to win this game. And at the end of the day, I got to tell you, I blame the defense. I think the defense was atrocious tonight. I said my game plan was you have to stop Bijan Robinson, which they didn't do, and then you had to get to Kirk Cousins, which they didn't do. And if they did those 2 things, this game would have been a blowout. You
No,
know
and,
the
you, and you're
Eagles
not.
in the do you know the Eagles in the late like in going into the second half had 4 possessions the entire first half. 4 possessions. So how does your offense even get into a rhythm when you've only had 4 possessions in an entire half?
No, it's true. The defense played worse than the offense today because you're talking how many guys on the defensive line that aren't producing? Not one guy. Someone's got the one-on-one. There's multiple guys that have the one-on-one. So why aren't they winning their matchups? And if that's not the case, then why isn't Fangio making adjustments and maybe switching a guy to the other side? I don't know. Like that's the question, bro. Like
I know.
if the defensive line fails, your whole defense fails, and that's what it was. We got gashed and gashed and gashed. Like this is worse than the first game. I mean, this is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, Shizzo, thank you for super chat. Nah, Joey, maybe the quarterback can't run that style of offense. Hurts isn't a pure passer, so he can't really let's run a traditional passing like Dak or Herbert. I mean, to some point, I think that there's truth to that. You know, it's frustrating. It is, but like I said, it's not December. It's September, and we got to see how they respond next week. You know, there's a lot to be worried. I'm going to watch this game again, but first I'm going to watch Tulsa King tonight. All right, I got to get away from football because I'm so upset. But I do need to watch this game. I want to go back and I want to watch the play of the defensive line again. Then I want to go back and I want to watch the play of the play calling, and I want to pick out the plays that they did that I thought looked eerily similar to last year, and see what I can find on that. So there's a lot to discuss.
Don't worry, we'll see. Like once like people are watching tape, even showing things on the video of just maybe Hurts missed something, why, the defense, why, I don't know. Like I just, as a defensive, like, especially because I've played that position before, like I can't imagine like every player on that defensive line is not even showing a little bit of production. It's like, I think they had one series. They had one series where they kind of got close to Kirk a few times, and that was like it.
To me, the Jalen Carter, like I thought he'd be dominating in the middle, and it would be opening up things. I need to go back and watch what's going on, but we'll see.
I thought there were some missed holding calls. Apparently, like even in my chat last, an hour ago, we're saying like there were some missed holding calls, and some of these guys were getting held. I don't know. Like I'm trying to watch everything.
Yeah.
There was. So I don't know.
But I maybe there were some the other way too. I have to go back and watch. But it is what it is. But let me thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. We're going to end it here. It's late. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. I know my wife probably wants to come to bed. So we're going to go. Time for a little Tulsa King action. So with that said, guys, we are out of here. Tough loss. And now it's going to get interesting because now we're going to see how this team responds and what they do. We've got coaches, right, that are experienced now. So let's see what they do.
We'll see.
With that said, we'll find out. Peace. You guys take care. We'll talk to you later. Don't be dingbats. And, of course, we out of here.
Peace out. Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott. Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb. You trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.